Hello everyone and welcome to the ISFL S31 Draft. I am your host, Button Clicker tonight, Darkness Rising. I have a host of GMs and league management people who will be going over all the picks with me tonight. Hopefully your dreams will come true. You'll be excited where you're going, and at a time it's probably one of the most exciting things for prospects. We all hope you have a good night, good afternoon, good morning, wherever you are. And I hope to see lots of excitement in chat. And yeah, sorry for the little delay, a few technical problems on my end. And I guess we can get started with everyone introducing themselves.
I'm Russ Drives the Bus. I'm the new GM for the San Jose SaberCats, and I'm going to read for them as well as the New York Silverbacks.
I am Schwartzner. I am the GM for the Colorado Yeti, and I'm going to read for Colorado and the Honolulu Kahalua.
Hey, I'm CC. I'm a GM of the Chicago Butchers, so I'm reading for them and for the Austin Copperheads.
Thank you, that is everyone on our team today. It looks like there's volume problems, but it's better. Cody, Pat, Issa, you want to quickly introduce yourself again?
Which one of us? Me or
Yes.
Issa?
All three of you. Just quickly, who you are.
Oh, I'm Pat, GM of the Liberty, reading for Philadelphia and Arizona tonight.
Issa Starcross, not really anybody special, reading for the New Orleans second line and the Berlin Fire Salamanders.
And Cody's here too. Okay, so
me too. Wait, I need to introduce myself. Sorry.
Yeah, there's a few audio problems.
For the
So
third
everyone
time.
can hear now. Everything's good.
Oh,
Should
third one.
we?
I'm Cody. I'm a GM at Philadelphia. Blah 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 blah. I'll be reading for Baltimore, Orange County.
There we go. Should we delay any longer, or should we get on to the draft?
This is going so
Go.
great. I
Let's
mean,
pick some players.
Get her done.
Okay,
Let's do this thing.
and let's go.
All right, I'll get it started. So, with the first overall pick in the season 31 draft, the Baltimore Hawks select Orpheus Syargaris, Captain Janko from the Minnesota Grey Ducks, defensive end. Frick had this to say about Captain Janko. We don't always take recreates with the first overall pick in Baltimore. It's like Captain Janko, after initial scouting was done, I knew they'd follow up because it's awesome to talk to them. It meshes well personally with our locker room. Nice guy. I don't want to take anyone, but this is over my best friend league, Walkers. Without good reason, but he gets a huge need for us, and he's an awesome person.
Yeah,
That's true. Captain Jenko's dope. Very, very sad he didn't go to 2. We thought you guys would do something else.
Yeah, I remember scouting him for the DSFL for Norfolk and remembering him being incredible. And the only holdup that there was on him whatsoever is at the time he wasn't sure how long he would stay active for, but now he's kind of put that all to rest. And so this was an incredible pick.
Nearly max defensive lineman is always going to be a very high pick, and when you have a user with this quality, pretty easy and safe #1 pick for Baltimore.
And speaking of quality, San Jose, with the second pick of the draft, select his brother, half-eaten onion bagel, Orpheus Zaryiros, a linebacker. So I have wanted to have Bagel on a team of mine or be on a team of his since probably S24. A super positive user, great earner, He's got good vibes in the locker room, and I don't know if anybody else caught it, but started a massive hype train on the forums to get everybody going for the draft. So that's the kind of energy we're looking to bring into San Jose, and I'm so stoked that we were able to pick him here.
Isn't
He's
it
a-
like the second or third hype thread he's done since making this new player? Like I've seen at least another
Yeah.
one, and they're so fun.
He's
Choo-choo, all
absolutely
aboard.
incredible with that.
All aboard the hype train, baby.
Yeah,
He's a great
he's
excited
user.
for
He was
Bagel.
on Chicago for several seasons. He was kind of like my mentor whenever I first joined the league because we were both cornerbacks. He's an awesome dude.
Oh, well, don't talk about him like that, because your corner sucked.
Okay, well, I can't disagree with that.
You also have brothers going pick 1 and pick 2.
Yep,
You love
very
to see
cool.
it. Love a story.
All right. And with the third overall pick in the season 31 ISFL draft, the Philadelphia Liberty select skipping around there. Cedric Wilkins II, cornerback from the London Royals. This is user Wolkers. What more can you really say about Wolkers? He's been a general manager for a long time. He was an expansion GM. And actually, when I was really new to the league, I was originally a defensive tackle. And I remember seeing this player, Bubba Thumper, around, and I actually reached out to Wolkers to ask how to be a good defensive tackle. And ever since then, we've just had a good friendship. He's been a good sounding board for me ever since I became a GM. And we just couldn't be happier to have someone with his level of experience and success on our team. So welcome to Philadelphia, Wolkers.
Yeah, interesting fact. Wolkers is actually probably my oldest friend in this league, and I absolutely love the guy. Philadelphia was actually his number 1 pick for where he wanted to go in this draft because he really wanted to play with new people and be a part of really building something up like you guys have going in Philadelphia. So I'm super excited he got to live out that dream there.
Yeah, we're very excited to get him in our ranks. And with our contract, we'll get him a new jersey. We'll get him a Philadelphia jersey when he comes on over. Not the stinky New York jersey.
All right, and with the 4th pick of the draft, the New Orleans second line select Amari Springer, user DeGumpa. When we saw DeGumpa on our draft board, even before reaching out to him, he was immediately one of our top options. We reached out to his previous player in the past when he was in free agency and expressed interest in him. We had great conversations with him, and Joe Usu is in our war room and knew more about him from the PBE, as they both are kingpins together there. They are also both in the same regression class together and fighting for spots in the top 5 in TPE there. So when Joisu reached out to scout him, she confirmed what we pretty much already knew. DeGumpa is one of the top players and users in the class. When I followed up with him myself, it took just one sentence to convince me he was our first round pick. If he made it to 4th overall, in which we saw that he did, he was going to be the automatic selection. He's a veteran Sim League member, a very good earner at a position of need, and more importantly, an incredible user. We're extremely excited and happy to bring him into the New Orleans organization. And yeah, so that's what they had to say about him, and I have to agree with that. He's a longtime user. I'm pretty sure that he's been in this league longer than I have, and I've been here for a little bit. He's always been a top earner, good all-around guy, and of course, can't ignore the New Orleans Tijuana connection there.
Yeah, he's had very successful players in the past, not loudest of users on the forum or Discord, but he knows how to earn, knows how to get his things done, knows how to be successful. That's what you want when you're picking at pick 4.
For sure. All right. With the 5th overall pick in the ISFL draft, the Chicago Butchers select to trade.
Yes, so the pick 5 will be going to Colorado, and Chicago will save pick 7, pick 35, and Colorado's round 3 pick next season, which means Colorado is on the clock.
Yeah, so with the 5th overall pick in the ISFL draft, the Colorado Yeti select Scotty McHits from Norfolk Seawolves, user G2019. So we had been reaching out to teams really early in the season, hoping to trade up and try and get G, by like week 4 of the ISFL, we had fallen in love with him. And as the season went on, he started to feel the same. And it was kind of like this month of him posting in our locker room and sending me DMs going like, draft me, like trade up and draft me. And so as the draft started to unfold, we were really hoping to find a way to trade up for him and kind of secure him as a player for our team. So Colorado and Chicago have a history of like these mid-draft trades, and we were able to keep that going. They took a few picks off of our hands, and we could grab him. And as far as drafting him, he's the type of user any team would be lucky to have. And I know several other teams kind of had their eye on him, and he's done some incredible media. He's engaged so well with his rookie class that they've done like podcasts together and media together, and they did that huge mock draft. So here's so many insane things that he just does. And so I know, G, that you are watching this on the big TV with Mrs. McHits, and hopefully you are as excited about becoming a Yeti as we are to have gotten you.
Yeah, and I will say, unfortunately, though, he apparently has really bad takes on Queen, and therefore he is now dead to Tesla. So we may be seeing another trade tonight. But no, we love Scotty and are glad to get him here.
He's a young guy, new user. He's got involved in quite a few things. Done awards committee, the podcast, like Schwarz said. Got a job as an updater recently. Very, very good new user into the league.
Yeah, every class has those players that are, or those users that just kind of have the it about them, and G2 is, you call him G, I was calling him G2, but I guess it's G 2019, but he's definitely one of those users in this class, so very good pick for Colorado here.
Yeah, for sure. And then with the 6th overall pick, the Honolulu Hahalua select Baniri Chihuahua from the Dallas Bird Dogs, user Dexteria. I know his name is a play on Benchwarmer, so I think I got the pronunciation right. But Sid had this to say about Dex. So I had the privilege of being a rookie in this class, and right from the get-go, I'd already known that Dexteria was going to be in the first round in the DSFL and ISFL draft. He wasn't one of our targets leading up to the draft, but pretty much 24 hours before the draft started, the idea of picking Dex at 6 really came in our mind, and the whole team was sold on it right away. Honolulu may not have been a team, or Honolulu has not really been a team with tons of active human O-line, so we're hoping that Dex can help in that department. Welcome to the team.
Yeah, Dex was a big prospect in Philadelphia. We were looking at him. There's a lot of great prospects this draft, and we were having quite the debate in the war room, and his name kept coming up at 3. So he had the potential to be up towards the top of the draft, but Honolulu got a great pick here.
Mm-hmm. First offensive player taken in the draft.
Okay. With the newly acquired 7th overall pick in the ISFL draft, the Chicago Butchers select cornerback Tessie Garcia Parra, Reno Jackson High School. Reno is one of my favorite people in the entire draft. He was with our team for several seasons with his last player, Tree Geldman, who played tight end for many years in Chicago. We knew all season long that getting Reno back was one of our biggest priorities. He's been arguably our best locker room presence for something like 5 or 6 seasons now. So we had to get him back. If you guys remember our first selection from last season's draft, we took Jason Garcia Parra, who is Tessie's brother. I think that they will be super happy to be on the same team. We're stoked to get Reno back. This draft is already a win in our eyes just for getting him back alone.
Yeah, really good earner, really good player, person, user. Pretty much total package for what you could want from a first round pick, going back to his old team.
Speaking of players going back to their old team, with the 8th overall pick, the Orange County Otters select running back Ken Oath, user Thor from the Bondi Beach Buccaneers. The new GM Greg had this to say about Thor. Approximately 0 people were surprised in GM chat when we put this pick in Myrtle Beach, Bondi Beach, and Orange County alumni. Thor's been most of the team for a long time. And with his previous player only retiring last season after spending 4 seasons with us, he's never really left the locker room. We wanted to add another offensive weapon, and with Thor, have the first player to play running back or wide receiver fits perfectly with the team. His dogs are adorable. He posts great food pics, and there's a neat callback to Thor's season 21 DSFL draft as he and Maury were drafted in the 5th round together. Very happy to welcome back as an otter. Like you said, I don't think anyone was shocked with this pick.
Yeah, I think most people would probably predict easy TPE for your mock draft here.
So it's nice to see players that were on teams for a long time get to go back to their quote unquote home, if you will. So, and it fits their needs perfectly with Go Tank regressing soon. They're gonna need a running back before too long. So, it might have been an easy to call pick, so to say, but it makes sense.
It's still valuable for what it is. Okay, and on to pick 9. The best team in the league. Yellowknife Wraith select Jay Spears, safety from Portland Pythons user Jay the Great. So Jay the Great is a legend in Yellowknife, and the fact he's available at our pick was huge. His previous player spent several seasons in Yellowknife, and we can't wait to have him back in the team again. His player, Jay Spears, is a high-earning safety, and it's an aging position for our team, and Spears should very much be a needed boost to our growing core of young, talented players that we're trying to foster in. And yeah, so being my team, like, when we got to this pick, it was pretty much unanimous who we're gonna pick, where we're gonna take. Just always gonna be Jay the Great. Great guy, great need. Just too easy for us.
Okay. And with the 10th overall pick in the ISFL draft, the Austin Copperheads select quarterback Malcolm Savage, user Moosey. Amid had this to say about Moosey. He said, "There's not much to say about such an obvious pick. We needed a QB in the pipeline to eventually replace Daytona, and Moosey is such a great user we couldn't pass him up. We're extremely excited to get him involved and look forward to what he can do as our next signal caller."
Yeah, I actually for sure thought that Moosey was going to slip by here and head back to his old team, but Austin Austin jumped ahead and went ahead and grabbed him. And after having him in Norfolk as a DSFL rookie this season, I 100% get the appeal. I hadn't really talked to him much before that, but incredible person and absolute joy to be around.
100%.
And a fantastic artist too. Let's not
Yes.
forget that.
Yes, lovely artist.
Raised lots of money for charity with his art. But yeah, I think what you said, I would just echo that. Probably a lot of surprise to see him go to Austin, but it's gonna be a well valued pick by the time he takes over for them.
And with the 11th pick in the draft, the Berlin Salamanders select
A trade. So, Berlin will be giving their pick to the Chicago Butchers, and in return they will receive pick 19, pick 21, pick 33, and pick 35 of this draft, which means Chicago is on the clock.
Yep, and with this pick, the Chicago Butchers will select linebacker Omni-Man, user Lim Jahee. Lim is another Chicago recreate that we're stoked to bring back. A big reason we made the trade with Colorado earlier in the draft was to get even more picks to start trying to throw packages at teams to try to trade up for either Lim or Reno, depending on who we didn't take earlier. We know that Chicago is the top of Lim's list, so we're happy that we're reunited again. Lim has been a big part of Chicago ever since him and I were both drafted together in S22. He's been a war room contributor and a scout for several seasons now, and we know he's going to earn well, so it's great to get Lim back into the fold.
Yeah, I don't think much has to be said. He's the graphics head for the league, does a great job there, and just all round solid user, great earner, good locker room presence. What more could you ask for?
Yeah, and I actually I was surprised because he's a pretty well-known user, and I had him kind of slipping into that top 5 area. So to get him all the way down here at 11, I feel like Chicago felt like they stole something.
We were desperately trying to trade with every team after our 7th overall pick because we were sure every pick that came up, we were like, oh, they're definitely going to take Lim.
You got him in the end.
And speaking of getting them, the New York Silverbacks, with the 12th pick in the first round, select wide receiver French fries, user Soniclov from Norfolk. They gave me some notes here going into the draft. We didn't think we would be going wide receiver with our first pick. It's not necessarily a need, but Sean Snyder is regressing, so they thought they might get one later. However, they had a fantastic scouting conversation with Soniclov, and he impressed them in the scouting. He already has a league job, so he's earning, which is great. And he's a key figure in Norfolk already. Leading up to the draft, he had DM'd New York, I guess, a few times, and it was pretty clear that it was one of their top destinations. So they didn't think he would fall this far, being one of the top wide receivers, but they were excited that he did and picked him up.
Yeah, I absolutely cannot say enough about Sona. I've been in Norfolk with him this entire season, and he is by far one of our most active rookies. He's always real upbeat and getting hyped about the streams and everything. And as far as new users go, that's really what you're looking for, and he's just been absolutely great.
Yeah, I had a great scouting conversation with too. He's a character. I like him a lot. We definitely thought about maybe taking him with our next pick as well.
And he has one of the better names in the class, because he doesn't like French fries.
All right. With the 13th overall pick in the Season 31 ISFL Draft, the Arizona Outlaws select Wendell Saylor, quarterback from the Portland Pythons, user Simo. The GM for Arizona. Was that?
Simo, not Simo. Simo.
Is it really said that way? Oh my god.
Yes, that's
I've been saying it wrong the whole time.
I've been saying it wrong this whole time.
Yes,
I thought it
everyone
was Simo.
says it wrong. It's Simo.
Oh, it's Simo.
I'm sorry, Simo. Well, whatever. You're still Simo in my head.
The same way. Just saying.
Zane all over again.
Nope. You're now known as Simo because it's on stream. Anyways, Crunk, the GM for Arizona, had this to say about the pick. With the incomparable Charlemagne Cortez hitting his peak, it was time to look for the future at the quarterback position. As a user, Simo is a respected recreate, a DSFL head office member, a tremendously talented graphic designer, and most of all, someone who has had a lot of ideas for our locker room when we scouted him. The passion for the ISFL and sim leagues in general is something that we hope will rub off on every outlaw, present and future. Wendell Saylor will be a star, and Simo is a top country gentleman. We hope he will be happy in the desert. And Simo is just one of those users you can't say enough about, and Crunk nailed just about everything. He's beyond all of his sim league accolades. He's just a top person. I can't say the term he would use to describe himself because it's not appropriate, but he's just a great person, and I'm happy for him to go in the first round here.
Mean a coward.
Yes,
Aussies
let's
are
go
taking
with
over.
that. But yeah, head office member, Dot's employee, does lots of card work and graphics for people. Just he's gonna max earn. He's gonna be Arizona's future, and it's pretty safe in his hands. And then finally, with the last pick of the first round, the Ultimus champion, Sarasota Sailfish select Spike Daniels, safety from the Norfolk Seawolves, user Michael Anonymous. So, from the Sarasota GMs, we can't say enough about our scouting experience with Michael Anonymous. Our scout, ABH, started training with them, and before he knew it, An hour had passed and he hadn't even asked any of the questions he was planning to. It felt like such a natural connection. Michael Anonymous had Michigan Anonymous, I don't know why I keep saying Michael. Michigan Anonymous had interest in joining Sarasota and were equally as interested in adding them to the team. And combining their work in the media section of the farm, the interest in team management aspects of the league, and how they filled a position of extreme need, we felt it may be necessary to trade up to secure him. But as the draft progressed, the path for them to fall to us at 14 unfolded perfectly, and we were ecstatic to make this pick.
Yeah, I was wanting to jump in there because Michigan Anonymous.
Michigan.
The fact that the fact that he's got the Michigan in there and is a fan of Michigan football immediately endeared him to Schwartz and became one of her favorite prospects. So seeing him go to Sarasota here is actually pretty great because he actually even made a media piece talking about how Sarasota was his ideal spot to go to. So they definitely knew what they were getting into when they grabbed him here.
I think both sides here got exactly what they wanted with this pick.
Yeah.
I had a similar scouting conversation with him as well, where it just kind of started, and then we were there for like 45 minutes and hadn't asked a single question. We were just chatting. He ended up asking me questions about the league first. So that's a great pick.
All right, we're going to move on to round 2 now. With the first pick in round 2, 15th overall, the Baltimore Hawks select
A trade. Pick 15 will be going over to the New York Silverbacks, who will now be on the clock. And in return, Baltimore receive pick 26, pick 40, and a round 3 pick for next season. Lots of trades today.
And New York, with this pick, will select Sakeem Webb, quarterback, user Deliveroo. And they have some notes here. They say Delia is someone that they know very well from across a few leagues, and they share 3 different locker rooms. I believe these notes are from Zan. So Dallas and Vancouver, as well now as New York, and the Death Valley Scorpions in PBE. Because of that connection, felt like it was a player they could make a huge impact in this league, and he's got dedication to stay active. Clearly, he's shown that as he's got a huge amount of TP already, and he's doing it across multiple leagues. So they felt like they needed to trade it up to be able to get their guy who's going to fit into the locker room and help the team.
He makes a lot of really nice graphics too. If you've ever checked them out, they're solid.
But I think he finishes a long-term user of sim leagues. Like you said, he's in a whole bunch of other sim leagues. You know what you're going to get with him. I don't know what more you need to say. You just have safe hands.
You can say he had a great season. 29 PDs and 5 picks is wild.
Jesus. And that's from a rookie as well.
Right. And what else is wild is San Jose's pick in the second round. JC Higgins, wide receiver, user Net. My boy Net. Light one up for the boy Net. He is someone I have known since very early on in the league. He's in Minnesota for a while. He's since recreated, clearly, with our boy JC Higgins here, and he's a GM in PBE now. He's really starting to come into his own. He's earned 1 billion TP already, so he's on track to be a great asset to the team. But I think more importantly is he's messaged us a few times, different scouts, about wanting to help build a locker room culture. So we're super excited to have anyone that's down with that. And I know Net's going to be great, and I was so excited that we got to pick him here. We had our eye on a few different pieces, but when Net hadn't been drafted, we knew we had to get him here. Very excited.
So I never really interacted with Net on his old player. So this whole scouting process since he recreated was really the first time I've got to get to know him, and just a great guy, super nice. Seems to be really enjoying himself as a wide receiver this time around. I think San Jose guys knocked this out of the park with this one. This is a great pick right here.
Thank you, thank you.
And with the 18th pick in the draft.
Hey, you're skipping me, Issa.
Oh, am I? You're right.
I was building suspense there with
Yeah.
speaking of knocking it out of the park. My segue's ruined. With the 17th overall pick in the season 31 ISFL Draft, the Philadelphia Liberty select Zoltan. Offensive line. Thank you. Offensive lineman from the Tijuana Luchadors. This is user Ranger Jace. So I'm a part of Tijuana, and since they drafted him in the DSFL draft last year, I've just seen him around the locker room and pretty much have a crush on him. It's mostly on his dog, Nash, who's like the most adorable dog ever. But this was just the perfect storm for us of a great well-known user. He's a big name in SHL. I think he just became part of head office over there. Great user for the locker room presence. And also, we need to get a future at offensive line with Hortle's character or player probably nearing the end of his career here soon. So, this was a pick we had to make right here, mainly for the dog, but also, also for the user. So welcome to Philadelphia, Jace. We're super excited.
Yeah,
I know
I really enjoyed this pick.
Buford was
Glad
trying
discussion.
hard to get us to trade for a second round pick to grab him. So
Yeah.
To do that with, quit it.
It's actually surprising that he kind of fell here, because here lately we've been seeing most of the top offensive linemen coming off in the first round. So Philadelphia really managed to grab a piece that you don't really see in the second round here lately.
Yeah, we were just waiting, and we were kind of getting a little nervous that he might go in the late first. But we were very excited to have him, and I'm okay with Pat having a crush on him. That's fine.
You've had your
no
time,
jealousy
boy.
there at all.
I'll live with it.
And now with the 18th pick in the draft, the New Orleans second line select Mark Goodhead, user Captain Gusar. With our second pick of the draft, New Orleans is selecting Captain Gusar. During the entire draft process, Myth ranted and raved about this user. I was able to speak with him a bit, but unfortunately we were not able to have a very long conversation due to some in real life stuff that was happening on both of our ends. But from the little we did speak, I could see why Myth liked this user so much. He was very friendly, asked a lot of questions, not even just about Zim leagues, but in life in general. He was a great conversation overall. Also, he's from the UK, so that's always fun. Myth even contemplated making this user our first round pick, though for him to drop all the way to the second here, we were absolutely ecstatic. We plan on having him moving to fill out a slot for us on defense, and we hope to see him become an integral part of the team in the future, both on and off the field.
Yeah, I'm pretty well-known user from other sim leagues coming over. But pretty safe, pretty good. I'm sure he's gonna love it there in NOLA.
And with the 19th pick in the draft, the Berlin Salamanders select Nick Capricolin Jr. I have no idea how to pronounce his username, but I'm gonna say hi Hashidi. But for this pick being the GM pick, they wanted me to do a interpreted dance for this pick. Unfortunately, you cannot see me, so instead I will have to explain it to you. Feelings, rage, disappointment, regret. Dance moves include lots of extensions of the arm, reaching, using spirit fingers to resemble tears, temper tantrum-like motions. take from that what you will, but High's been a amazing user in our league for quite a bit now, and obviously has done a great job there in Berlin as their GM, and great to see him, heading to the team.
Well,
This
obligatory
is what they
GM pick.
call in. This is what they call in the business a reach, if you will.
Yes.
Reach.
Reach.
I'm with I'm with the 20th overall pick in the ISFL draft, the Honolulu Hahalua select Ray the Manta Ray from Bondi Beach, user Sidus. This is another GM pick. Sid gave me nothing to say about himself. He said to be mean to him, but I just think that's because he's too humble to brag. So
It's probably because he's stinky, and it's also
Yep, stinky.
a reach.
Thank you.
So. Yikes! Oh boy.
Yeah,
I
Sid.
mean, look at the
Ray
tat.
the Manta Reach.
Reach.
Nailed
Got
it.
him. Destroyed.
Nailed it. I'm out of
Let's
here.
move. Let's
See you
move
later.
on. Let's move on. This is rough.
I'll give you
I
some
do gotta say
credits.
that's my favorite render.
Gotta be
Yeah,
top
that
3
is.
for
That's
sure.
classic.
But yeah, Sid, GM pick, head of the PPT department. Great guy. Good luck in your schooling. And yeah.
All right, and with the 21st pick in the draft, the Berlin Fire Salamander select. I'm absolutely going to butcher this, but Siawasi Multi-Awa Pele from Tuba Master Flex. We already considered Tuba Master Flex with our first pick before trading down, so we're really glad that he fell to us in the second round. This user is incredibly friendly and will fit very well with our locker room. They're a good earner and are not afraid to write media to pad the bank account, currently sitting at 2,400 plus words on their last media piece. I absolutely love Tuba. He has been incredible in the prospect chat in Colorado. And it was very, very unfortunate that we traded our second rounder last season because we had to miss on people like this.
Who has Orange County?
That would be me. Moving on to the 22nd pick in the draft, the Orange County Otters select cornerback Doc Holliday, user Germs from the Tijuana Luchadors. The Orange County Otters had this to say. So Germs is someone that Blasoon got to talking to and was quickly astounded by just how personable and affable they were. Really exude an enthusiasm for the league, and we got closer to our second rounder. Blast was pounding the table, trying to make sure we picked them up. Little plans for Germs, and we can't wait to get him in here. Yeah, this guy, I had a good conversation with him during scouting for Philadelphia. He was really high up on our boards. Hoping maybe he would somehow fall into the third round, but clearly it didn't happen. And I think Orange County got a really good user here.
Yeah, Germs is just a fantastic guy that I know from Tijuana. The great pick. This is awesome value here. And leave it to Blast to say something like, use a big word like affable. What's that even mean?
And yeah, he's currently getting super hype in the YouTube chat, so excited for him.
Yeah, you wouldn't know what affable means, Pam.
I don't.
And with the 23rd pick in the draft, the Berlin Fire Salamander select, because they have like 1 million picks this season, Ben Della Baguette. He is a great user who really loves our logo and had us as one of his top destinations. This is his first ever sim league, but he's been doing an awesome job so far. He has high goals in this league and will be a great addition to our team. And
what is with all these cornerbacks and their awesome rookie seasons? Like 5 interceptions, 6 interceptions, 6 interceptions.
they
Maybe
were
more than
absolutely
many.
killing it this season.
I had that many in my entire last player's career, I'm pretty sure.
I don't think I've even
All
had
right,
them in.
quit bragging.
Somewhere out there, I hear Laser crying out in the distance.
Oh, sorry. With the 24th overall pick, Chicago Butchers select offensive lineman Michael Karimi, Leatherneck Mike. Chicago currently has the longest streak of seasons with a full human offensive line with no bots, and we want to keep this streak going as long as possible. There were a few awesome offensive line prospects in this draft, and we're super happy that we were able to snag a great one here with Mike. Me and him had a great conversation when I was scouting him, and it's a good thing that we scouted him too, because if you saw his media, you'd know that he's only willing to play for 11 of the teams, and we happen to be one of those. So, welcome to the team, Mike.
This was another guy high up on our boards. Obviously, we were in need of offensive linemen, and Pat had a good conversation with him.
Was the first scout to reach out to him, so yeah. But no, it was.
Wow.
I like Mike a lot. This is an awesome pick. The Fair Robes boys are gonna be happy with this one, right?
Oh, of course they will. What, 2 roll on now in the second round?
And again, because somebody gave them half the picks in the second round, with the 25th overall pick, the Berlin Fire Salamanders select Tony Dimmonson.
Crazy Lemmy.
I think I think they actually missed the notes on this one. They had too many picks.
I'll say something about this pick. He did tell us not to draft him because he has a lot of backstory for his character, and in the backstory, his player had a rough time in Chicago apparently. So he told us to take him off the board.
What
That's
you do in
dedication.
CC?
He just knew better.
And here we go.
True.
We had a great scouting conversation with him. He was very interested in playing with his current quarterback in Bondi Beach. Laser again at the ISFL level, and we're stoked to see what those two can do together in Berlin in the future as they build up.
All right, with the 26th overall pick in the ISFL Draft, the Baltimore Hawks select Paul Monitor, kicker punter from Bondi Beach. User Hall Monitor. All right, I've got a couple things to read here. First, from Hall himself. Hall is hands down the best player in this draft. The fact that he fell to the second shows just how ignorant other GMs are to special teams. There were 25 mistakes made in front of him. Hall has the biggest potatoes in the draft and hangs out with the coolest dudes and wears the coolest clothes. Hall will be given every player's wife. That way there's no drama when he enters the locker room. I wish I'd read this beforehand. And Frick had this to say about his co-GM. Hall's smelly, but he's my smelly kicker. We have to draft him. And I draft him first overall, but not really.
I mean, he
Well,
did set some records.
They didn't have to draft him. They could have fired him. Then you wouldn't have to draft him at all.
Mr. Small Potatoes over here.
Yeah, I would say Tom Hanks would like to say that he has very small potatoes.
Super small potatoes.
Probably the smallest of them all, right?
Darn
Smallest
close.
of them all. Hall's
speaking
guy. He was formerly on Philadelphia. Great guy. Of them, they're building something good in Baltimore, and hopefully this continues to work out for them.
All my segues are getting ruined. Ah. Well, anyways.
Sorry. Oh, here, segue, Pat.
Speaking of something that's not small, with the 27th overall pick, oh god, it's ruined. It doesn't even work. With the 27th overall pick in the season 31 ISFL Draft, the Arizona Outlaws select Katoni Staggs, wide receiver from the Bondi Beach Buccaneers, user M Faith. Crunk had this to say about their pick. Katoni Staggs is a fantastic prospect at wideout. M Faith is probably best known in the sim community for being in head office in the PBE, but more importantly to us, she is one of the most polite and personable ISFL members we have ever scouted. She expressed her wish for Katoni to play in the ISFL as soon as possible, and had a preference to play in the same team as Wendell Saylor, our previous pick. Em and Simo, that's going to be so hard for me to get, right? Are married in the, non-sim universe, and the Outlaw family cannot be happier to accommodate her requests. I've gotten to know Em a little bit over the past couple of months after she joined the league, and everything that Crunk had to say is 100% correct. She is just an absolute delight to speak with, very friendly, very nice. And I'm happy that she and Simo got to end up together.
Yeah, I was actually surprised by this because I feel like Arizona kind of did their picks backwards here. You know, you're always supposed to take the better half first, right?
So true. It's the one thing he can hold over her head in real life.
Yeah, exactly.
It should be
If he's smart, he won't.
He doesn't claim
But
to
we
be a
know
smart
he's
man.
not
If
smart.
he values his marriage, he won't.
I've heard his couch is very comfortable.
He's actually moving houses. I hope that went well for you two. It was on today. And then the final pick of the second round. Back to the Ultimates chance. Sarasota Sailfish select quarterback Carter Knight, user Frostbite from the Kansas City Coyotes.
Reach.
It's a
Bum.
reach.
Oh wait, how did that Kermit frog get there?
The
Let's let's fix that up.
Frost Ducks Lum map.
There we go. That's better. So this is their obligatory GM pick here, but they're getting their great value with their future quarterback. Frost is the founder of the Sailfish and a beloved user. I don't know if he's beloved. He does suck, remember? Throughout the league. With a good sense of humor and easygoing nature, willing to be the butt of many jokes, Frost sucks Lamat. We are very happy to have his next player join our team, and who might keep the same name for at least a few seasons. Rip Dax Reptalia, Chizero, Frostchand, Itchy Nose, whatever his old player was called at that point.
Yeah, he's a great guy. It's good to see him go out on top as a GM when you're in second Ultimates, and I don't think anyone can disagree that he's built something really good in Sarasota.
It's been all downhill for him since he retired as kicker.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, as much as he's the butt of all jokes, you know, great owner, great player, great GM, great user. Frost is Frost.
And an even greater lover.
All right, moving on to round 3. The 29th pick in the ISFL Draft, the Orange County Otters select wide receiver Radka Raskolnikov, user Viking, Minnesota Grain Ducks. Orange County had this to say about him. Radka was a huge part of the Ducks championship run this last season. Viking has been kicking butt with their earning, and they've been a wonderful presence in the mini locker room whenever they stop by. Any team would be lucky to have them, especially this late in the draft. Orange County is thrilled to pick up another future star wide receiver this late in the game. This is, we had talked about this in Philadelphia. It was one of those ones where, it's a high earning receiver. Possibility they could fall back in the third. We were licking our lips a little bit and chomping at the bit. But I think a lot of people, from what I saw, they said that Orange County got a steal here. I'm saying steal. I'm using it. This is the first time. Steal.
That's the third round. It's allowed. And Radka is a great pick. Had him I was his GM in Minnesota, and great earner. Very positive when he's in the locker room. So that's what you want, especially this late. I mean, with 4 GM picks in the second round, you're going to end up with some good value in the beginning of the third. So great pick. And speaking of picks, San Jose, with the 30th pick, will select Lene Kakua, the defensive tackle, user Deadly Player. Defensive tackle is definitely a position of need. Deadly is a known user in the league and has some connections to our locker room. So our scout indicated that they were going to be maybe a little less available with this player because they just got an IRL job, but we were fine with taking a shot here and adding Deadly to our team.
Yeah,
Deadly is a wonderful user. This is a really good pick in the third.
Yeah, I absolutely adore Deadly. I've known him for almost 2 years now, and just incredible dude all around.
All right, and with
Hey,
the
you missed your segue.
I'm giving up on it. Okay, they're done. All right, but this kind of talent around me, I can't even.
Speaking of talent,
Okay, thanks. Speaking of talent, that's actually pretty good. With the 31st overall pick in the season 31, whatever. Anyways,
He's telling
you
us
are
the ones without
flailing.
talent.
the Liberty select Malkador the Hero, wide receiver from the Norfolk Seawolves, user Snowy Wolves. So Snowy is one of those users that if you were to take a random polling of anyone from around the league and ask them just their general thoughts on them, probably the most common response you'll get is somewhere in the range of super nice, very nice, great locker room presence, happy to have him as a teammate. You know, I'm laying on thick here, but the then story is Snowy is just a pleasure to have around. And it's weird to say, but we have some people that are going to be hitting regressions soon here. One of those is our top wide receiver, Killian Chambers, and we're hoping that with Malkador kind of waiting in the wings, we won't have too much of a drop off when Chambers is ready to hang it up. So, Snowy, welcome to Philadelphia. We couldn't be happier to have you.
Yeah,
we're very excited. Can I talk about my team?
Yeah.
We were very excited to get Snowy. I had talked to him on his last player when he was kind of hanging up and retiring, and wasn't sure what he was going to do after his last player, and was kind of flailing a little bit. So I was telling him, if you come back, just be as active as possible. I'm sure you'll get picked up pretty quick in the draft. And he said he would love to come play for Philadelphia if he was available at our pick. So the stars aligned, and we're bringing Snowy to Philadelphia.
And I was just gonna
Snowy.
say, Pat was saying that he was laying it on thick with Snowy, but he wasn't at all. Like it's hard to really understand how nice of a person Snowy is until you've experienced the locker room with him, and you just cannot say enough about him. And with the 32nd pick in the season 31 draft, the New Orleans second line select Derek Carr. Well, D Carrec. Opposite. Anyways, Ishmael 8907. Ishmael had a player in the league all the way back in S22, which I was not around for at the time to remember, but I was around to get to know D Carrec a bit for a short time. When he first joined the S31 class, we took him off the waivers for Tijuana so we could give him a temporary home before the draft. In that short time, I got to see and befriend a very friendly user and team player. While we were not able to bring him back in Tijuana, I am really happy to be able to bring him into New Orleans this time around. Once a QB create, he has since switched to linebacker, which was a real need for us, and we hope that Ishmael can be the guy to help us fill that, while also being an incredible locker room presence. Yeah, I was actually surprised to see him still on the board here. He is a borderline max earning linebacker, and defense is always a need. So to make it all the way to pick 32 here was absolutely bizarre to me. I remember talking around in the Colorado war room a couple picks before this, asking why he was still there and if there was something that I didn't know about. So it was really bizarre to see him here. I mean, he's even great in the locker room. So New Orleans, I'm going to use my still card here.
I would say that is definitely a steal right there. I agree with you. Everything you said. Yeah. We are in the same thought too.
Yeah, we kind of did a double take, and we're like, "How is this guy still on the board?"
Oh, and after last year's snafu of, everything.
All right. I can't read. It's fine. I can't search picks. We're good.
With the 30 33rd pick in the S31 draft, the Berlin Fire Salamander select Anthony McGuire, Pythonic. I believe we drafted Pythonic on his last player as well. While that may have not have worked out as expected, I'm very excited to bring them back here. In the time since we last drafted them, I believe Pythonic has gained a ton of sim experience, even becoming a GM in the SHL. While they've spent too much time with Joe K, I look forward to them being a large part of our locker room culture and giving me more EU4 advice in the future. I absolutely love Pythonic. I didn't really get to know him on his first player, but I joined SHL recently, and he was temporarily my GM over there for the Vancouver Whalers. And he is an absolutely incredible guy. He made my experience there very enjoyable. And for what I've seen, he's really picked up his activity around here as well. So I know Berlin has to be super excited to get him here.
Okay, and on to pick 34, we have the Sarasota Sailfish in a trade. So, the recently acquired Lenny Kakua from San Jose's pick 30 has been traded to Sarasota, and in return they will get pick 34 and 42. And since Deadly, you are now on Sarasota, they just wanted to talk and say that they really wanted you in this draft. You're a long-time user who knows the league inside and out. There's a number of players who know you from London, and he will fit right into our locker room, bringing his great level of passion with him. At a position with aging veterans, it was a no-brainer for us to work out a deal with San Jose and bring you to the Sailfish. The Catfish Sailfish.
I think this is a trade that works out for both teams. Sarasota obviously really wanted Deadly on their team. San Jose picks up a couple picks that they can use on some talent.
Mm-hmm.
And talent we did acquire.
Boom.
With I'm on the Segway game. I've got your ass, dog. With the 34th pick.
Take notes, Pat.
In this draft, San Jose will select Nepi, DT, the great render Yokozuna, hype, user Nepi. This works out for everyone involved, as far as I'm concerned. We still needed DT, and when Sarasota approached us, we saw Nepi on the board still and thought, well, they're incredibly similar players. So if we can get a little value out of this, and Deadly has good connections in Sarasota's locker room, I think it'll work out for both parties. So we went with the trade, and we're excited to get Nepi for sure. And it was a bit of a rocky scouting process. I think I tried to we sort of misconnected on a few startups to a conversation, but eventually we had a good one, and they're excited to be a part of a positive locker room and provide sort of a chill vibe. And as a DT, we definitely need users, so I think it worked out for everybody involved. We're excited to get them.
Yeah, like I said, it was kind of a trade that seemed to work out for everyone, and that's always good to see.
Yeah, and I mean, wrestling render, you got the great Yokozuna. I'm, Big E Langston. Like, come on now. It just works out.
And with the 35th pick in the draft, the Berlin Fire Salamander select Marquise Ocho Jr., Huskies 311. Huskies is a former GM of the Baltimore Hawks and was my co-GM before High and I got the expansion bid for Berlin. I know Huskies' knowledge of the league and team building will be a big help to Berlin. I'm excited to have Huskies back and active in the league, and I'm glad to be teammates with him again. Yeah, I've known Huskies for a while. He's been a mainstay in this league since season 15, and he's a really great guy. Knows a lot about the league, and when he's active, he is absolutely incredible. And it was unfortunate to see him kind of slip off a little while ago, but he's back now, and great for Berlin to grab him here.
Yeah, long time user of the league. Like they said, former GM. Just makes sense to get someone like that with the mid third round picks. Pretty valuable for Berlin, even if they have about 10,000 picks in this draft.
Speaking of picks that make sense, with the 36th pick in the ISFL Draft, the Orange County Otters select Mice Wells, user Sopath from the Tijuana Luchadors. Orange County had to say this. Sopath is one of those dudes who've come over from the SHL and made a great impact. They have a crazy schedule where they're still enjoying their time in the ISFL, and Blast and Gabe had a lot of good things to say about them. Oh, and welcome to the team. Whoever's reading this should say, "Come on, you Spurs." Not sure what that is, but all right.
Let's go Spurs. We're undefeated, baby.
I don't know
English
much about this
soccer
guy. I
thing.
didn't have a chance.
Tottenham,
It's an English soccer
Tottenham
thing.
Hotspur.
It's all good.
Okay.
It's all good,
So
fellas.
we're not talking about a real sport. All right, got it.
Yeah. Ooh, football.
No, we're
soccer.
talking about sim football.
Yeah, sim football. And what
This
matters
is
in
a
sim
real
football
sport.
is the
Yeah,
draft.
the only sport in my eyes.
And in the
NFL,
draft,
what?
NFL who? When is the NFL when you have the ISFL? And when you have the ISFL, there's only one team's picks that matter, and that's Yellowknife. And at pick 37, Yellowknife Wraith select Lot Smith, the 8th, running back from Kansas City Coyotes, user Southie. Third round picks can sometimes be a shot in the dark, but we at Yellowknife believe we took serious advantage of the other GMs in the draft when Southie and Lot Smith the 8th fell to us. He is a max earning running back who will pair nicely with Q Jr. and he should be in a position to make an immediate impact on our team, and we can't see to wait to take backfield action this for us. Yeah, hey, this is probably my steal pick of the draft. Over 220 TPA into the late third round. That's pretty insane value for us.
Yeah, I think the only reason he fell is because of his last player falling off kind of early. But hopefully he can keep it up this time around. Love to see it. With the 38th overall pick in the ISFL Draft, the Austin Copperheads select wide receiver Johnny Patey, user Patey. Another great user with some Sim League experience. We being Austin, we needed some additional pass catchers and couldn't believe he fell to this point. We're extremely excited to get the chance to bring him to Austin.
True. Patey, I think I had a good conversation with Patey, and I think this late in the draft, you're looking for solid, active, earning user, and that's what they got for sure.
I was gonna say I'm in the Norfolk locker room with him, and the dude is super active in the Discords. So though his TPE may be a little bit low right now, he's trying to bounce in and earn a bit stronger. And like I said, as incredible as he is in the locker room, it's worth it to get a locker room presence this late in the draft.
Yeah, you
Yeah, I
see
know
those
the
tongue of
Philadelphia War
excitement.
Room really liked him a ton. We're also saying a joke was that it was Pat's multi. Calling him Patty.
All right, and with the 39th pick in the draft, the Berlin Salamanders select Billy Doorknob. Doorknob started off our scouting session by saying "Go Falcons," and while we should have stopped talking to him after such a ridiculous comment, we went on to have one of my favorite scouting conversations of all time. Blorgle and many others in the locker room are a big fan of Doorknob, and I wanted to make sure we got this fantastic user at some point during this draft. And I can also confirm that this was a player that Colorado was very interested in at this point, and he had started popping up in the Colorado locker room shortly before this pick actually came in, and we were all like, "Hey, that this is a super active guy that's looking to get involved," and even found out that he's in the war room for London apparently. So this is an awesome pick for Berlin here.
We had a good, me and him had a good scouting conversation too. Within I think like 4 messages of our introduction to each other, he told me that he was pretty sure that Mag was leaving our team and was just kept messing with me. It was really funny.
You know what else is funny? 40th overall pick in the ISFL draft. That wasn't a good segue.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, let's go. Let's go here. So Baltimore Hawks select cornerback rookie sensation. User TLK 742 or 742 from the Portland Pythons. Rick had this to say. TLK, he's the commissioner of the Super Casual Football Assembly. He's an awesome dude. He may not be like a max earner. He's good for the locker room, hanging out and talking with everybody. Hopefully get him back on track, earning some TPE.
Yeah, this is someone we had an eye on also as a possible late round steal, just from his involvement with Super Casual, and I think Baltimore. We got to pick here. This is a good choice this late in the draft.
Yeah, if you can get any of those, cross league users, even if they're not the best earners, they're usually pretty dedicated still.
Yeah,
So it's good to see.
In Super Casual, TLK is the commissioner, streamer. Pretty much does a majority of all the running of the entire league over there, so might be a bit busy, but he'd be a great person to still have around the locker room.
Yeah, he's pretty vocal, and he's had a couple decent players here in the past, so it's not like it's complete flyer here. If he wants to, he can easily start earning again.
All right, and with the 41st overall pick in the season 31 ISFL draft, the Philadelphia Liberties select I Kick Balls, kicker from the Tijuana Luchadors, user TP3480. For anyone who's in PBE or especially super casual, TP is a bit of a household name. He just had his first player make the Hall of Fame in super casual. Kicker is now a position of soon to be need for us, and Cody can attest to this. The whole weeks leading up to the draft, we were kind of wringing our hands, going, "Oh man, when do we take one of these kickers? Are they going to start going before we need them?" So this was a pick that, when we got on the board, it was just, we have to do this. We need this now. This is an awesome pick this late. So we couldn't be happier to bring this guy in. This will be our kicker of the future if things go the way we hope.
Yeah, there was a big sigh of relief when it got to us and we still had a kicker on the board. We were looking at the possibility of trading up if one of them came off the board, and just stayed pat and got our guy.
And speaking of guys, San Jose selects the 42nd pick in the draft. Eric Bolaños, linebacker, user Shockswan. We know him as Mitch. CK has a lot of connections with this user from PBE. It was one of CK's first round picks for his team, and he's also a co-commissioner with CK in another sim league that they're in. So with all of that, this late in the draft, we have a guy that we can always contact, which is something that you definitely want. And so even though they're a bit more of a casual earner in the ISFL, we think we can have them possibly pick it up and help us out in the future.
Right, moving on to the 4th round with the 43rd overall pick. The Baltimore Hawks select Do Fuss. Defensive end, user Miss Obvious from the Bondi Beach Buccaneers. Had this to say, Miss Obvious, awesome dude, another good friend of mine from another league. Low TBE, may not be super active, may not be active at all. Another person that's great in the locker room, friends with them and most of the people on our team. Hopefully they're able to get them to earn. I like the render.
That render is amazing.
The pupils are unsettling.
Speaking of unsettling,
Yeah. San Jose got another pick here, don't we? We do. Pick 44. San Jose is going to select a tight end, Donkey Johnson, user Donkey from the London Royals. This one, we sort of, after the trade, we mapped out what we thought we'd be able to get here, and we saw that there was a tight end late that we'd had a good scouting conversation with, and tight end being a position of need after some unfortunate free agency issues. It made plenty of sense. So Donkey is someone that our scout had a great convo with, and they're interested in making some graphics, get a little money to help them earn some more in the league. So we're excited to have them and see what they can do for us in future times.
Donkey was super nice in our scouting conversation as well. Seems like a great user.
We're excited to add any nice people to our locker room. That goes
Of
for
course.
anyone who's nice, ever.
Is that tampering?
Nope.
sound the sirens.
All right. Well, with the 45th overall pick in the season 31 ISFL Draft, the Philadelphia Liberty select Nathan Claflin, linebacker from the Norfolk Seawolves. This is user Green Bay Nathan. So during our time here as the GMs in Philadelphia, we've had some really good finds here in the 3rd and 4th round. Suyu Asui, CJ Sanjak, Lonnie Jackson, Rudy Gray, inactive, and Jax Baker were all taken in the last couple of drafts in this 3rd and 4th round. And we think that before too long, Claflin will just be another one of those names added to the list of these great 4th round picks that we've made. He's active in Norfolk, and his GM there, Negs, is also in our war room. And he was super excited when we got to this pick to see that he was still around, and pretty much beat us over the head with his name, saying we gotta draft this guy. So, Nate, we're excited to have you here, and welcome to Philadelphia.
Green Bay.
And he is once again a very active user. He was in the Norfolk locker room earlier talking about the draft, so super excited to see him to go to a team like Philadelphia. And then with the 46th pick in the draft, the New Orleans second line select Cal Stevenson, Neil PT. Unfortunately, we never got a response from Neil, but at this point in the draft, he was the top remaining TPE safety on the board. So we hope possibly seeing the draft will incentivize him to join the locker room, chat with the team, and possibly even become a future piece of our defense. Never like to see inactives, but we really hope you come back and rejoin the league.
CC.
Sorry, I'm on push to talk and didn't have my button pressed. With the 47th overall pick in the ISFL Draft, the Chicago Butchers select tight end Warren Buffett, or possibly Buffet. User KMAT. KMAT may have a bit of a reputation in some leagues, but I've gotten to know him a decent bit ever since I traded it for him back when I was the GM of the Grey Ducks several seasons ago, maybe like half a year ago or something. I know he's a good kid and he means well. And at this point in the draft, you're looking for actives, and I know I can get a hold of KMAT pretty much whenever. I'm hoping that Chicago can be a good home for him for seasons to come, as he and our current tight end, Nick Elback, form a rock star duo at the tight end position someday.
Wow. Incredible.
I
Two
thought
drafts
we
in
were
a
going
row.
to get through
Let's
one
go.
draft
Let's go.
without
2 drafts in a row.
Nickelback puns.
Incredible. Well done.
Well,
You
you
do-
Cece's not on next season's draft.
You do realize that Warren Buffett is not the musician, right? That would
I
be
had to get him
Jimmy.
in there. I had to get him in there somehow.
It worked.
Did it?
But
Did
at
it?
what cost?
Yeah. We're all just
It
gonna
costs
leave.
you
got the
nothing
rest-
to
you got
be
the rest
nice.
of this draft.
Right, so moving on from that, with the 48th overall pick, the Honolulu select Anya Mind, user Huddle Hussy from the London Royals. The team knows Huddle Hussey pretty well, and she was actually one of the first people that GM'd Sid when he first joined Sim Leagues. So while they know that she was looking to take a break from Sim Leagues, they're just happy to have her hang out in the locker room and be a fun user to be around. She's great. If they can have her get active again, this is an incredible steal here. 182 TPE by draft time. We had looked at drafting her early on in the season too, and I hope that she can come back because she does some incredible stuff.
Yeah, it was really unfortunate because she came out of the gate doing media, doing podcasts, and everything else, and was really hoping to see her kick off in the league, but she needed to take a break. And as somebody that's taken a break from the league before, I totally understand that.
Yep. All right, and with the 49th overall pick, the Colorado Yeti select James Sharkey from the Bondi Beach Buccaneers, user James Games 23. So we had a pretty good conversation with James, and he's in our locker room right now. And with a name like Sharkey, we kind of have to fit in with our animal theme that we have going in Colorado. So we're hoping we can keep him active and participating as a part of the team.
Yeah, we were actually shocked by this because at this point we were just looking at the last couple names on the board, and it was interesting to see that he actually just did an activity check last week. So he is not yet inactive.
Yeah, I actually had a really good conversation with him in the scouting process, and he said he was going to try to pick things back up. So, pretty good chance that Colorado got a nice little steal here at the end of the 4th round. All right, I'm going to apologize in advance for this one. So, with the 50th overall pick in the ISFL Draft, the Orange County Otters select defensive tackle Johnny Bravo, user Cook765, the Tijuana Luchadors. Here's what the Orange County Otters had to sing about Johnny Bravo. Baby, come back. Any kind of fool could see there was something in everything about you. Baby, come back. Yeah, you can blame it all on me, 'cause I was wrong, and I just can't live without you. And
If he
I'm
doesn't come
done
back
for the
after
night.
that-
And I got in trouble for puns.
I
Yeah,
Okay,
if he doesn't-
so
so
I
wanted to
didn't
come
mute
back
you
from
doing
up
that.
when I got selected when I picked Orange County to read off for them. So I apologize if anyone's ears are bleeding at this point. So
Yeah, I should have muted you halfway through it.
thanks.
Oh, come on. That sounded like a
yeah,
mixture of
I
Fergie
mean-
and Jesus.
Sorry, Kaya says
It's
that
just
was
as good at
beautiful.
singing as Chad Kroger does. So
So,
Don't you talk bad about him.
so Cook, when he popped into the league originally, was added. I think he was a waiver ad in Tijuana, and the dude came firing out of right out of the gates. I was super excited for him. I thought he was going to be one of those kind of late round steals here in the draft, and as Cody's singing probably insinuated, he has seemed to have fallen off. But if he comes back, I think he'll be a great ad there in Orange County.
because of those sweet vocals, that's why he'll come back.
I mean, if he doesn't, that's pretty rough on your part. Sorry, Dad.
Oh well, it won't be the first time I've embarrassed myself in this league, and it won't be the last.
Okay,
Darkness.
sorry, I had a mail show up. Pick 51. Going back to Canada, the Yellowknife Rafe select Thomas Hollins, wide receiver from the London Royals, Daniel Book. I mean, I think you can just justify this pick based on the render and name alone. Who doesn't love Tom Holland?
He's a national treasure.
Amen.
Just not our nation.
Very true.
Yeah,
Okay.
we'll hopefully come back more active and be engaged. We'd love to have you. And that goes to the real Tom Holland too.
Looks like he had a really good season for a 100 TPE wide receiver.
Almost 900 yards, yeah.
All right, with
So
the
calling it now, sexiest render of the draft.
I don't know, Nep Neppy was pretty good too.
So did you not
Have you
see
seen,
Ray the Manta Ray?
have you
Yokozuna.
seen the Tom Holland performance of Lip Sync where he's doing the Rihanna? That's can't beat that.
No, you
I
can.
think we all saw Frost's original render of Kermit. So, yeah.
That one just fits so well. Okay, with the 52nd overall pick in the ISFL draft, the Austin Copperheads select defensive tackle R.L. Stein, user Toasty. They had this to say. Yet another SimLeague veteran we're happy to have on board. We hope that we can help him earn a bit more and get him involved on our D-line where he can spend time harassing opposing quarterbacks. Another user we're pumped to have on the team. I just played Toasty last night in the Halo League. He's a pretty solid player. Got to give it to him.
I've got goosebumps over this pick.
Stop
Got
it.
him. Got
Okay, that was
him.
solid. All right, with the 53rd pick in the draft, the Berlin Fire Salamanders select Eric Hall. This user is inactive. We hope they'll come back. Please use the rest of this time to say mean things about the CC. So I'm going to say the CC is stinky. And for some other examples, he can't grow a mustache, and it takes him 3 days to do an oil change.
Well, and he can't ride a bike.
I wish I could refute any part of that. Wait, no, I'm not stinky. I'm not stinky.
Attaboy. Attaboy. Stand up for yourself. Because no one else will.
He can't stand up, he might fall over and hurt his face.
Okay, let's move on.
Yeah, let's move on. So, New York, the Silverbacks will select with pick 54, cornerback Cade Carlton, the man who sold the world. It's a pretty well-known user in the PBE. I believe this is also Net's brother. He's gone inactive a bit due to going to college, but they're hoping they'll be able to get him back to the ISFL. Happy to get a user with potential to come back this late in the draft. Shows the quality of the class. San Jose thought about trying to angle to get this pick too, since we got Net as well, but it didn't fall that way.
All right. And with the 55th overall pick in the season 31 ISFL draft, the Arizona Outlaws select Lucas Arnold, safety from the Norfolk Seawolves. User is Luke is Rocks. Unfortunately, we're in the point of the draft where we're taking some inactives here. I didn't have any interactions with Lucas, but hopefully he comes back and we have another active user on our hands here.
Hopefully, and talking about hopeful, Sarasoters, pick 56. They have selected Devin Boateng, wide receiver from Portland, user Dev. Again, an inactive, but was more recently on a forum between the two people left. So Sarasota are really hoping they can get in touch and respark your interest in the league. If you're watching, Sarasota's a pretty nice place, and I would love to have you if you would come back to them.
All right, and the final pick of the draft, Mr. Irrelevant of season 31, the Baltimore Hawks have selected wide receiver Jalen Hopkins, cool kid from the Kansas City Coyotes. With the last pick in the draft, like everyone said in these last few, you're really hoping you can just kind of bring them back. If they've earned a little bit, there's a slim chance they could come back and be an active user. Always happy to see people come back, so I hope kid, he's a cool kid, comes back to the league.
And so that concludes our S31 ISFL draft.
Good luck to all the new players, and I hope everyone's happy with their teams.
Yep. You will find the cards for your draft picks made by our lovely events team will be put up on the forum. Should be pretty soon after this ends. So if you want to go look at that, you can. And yeah, I hope everyone is excited for their new career journeys. We've now got, and then next week we're gonna have DSFL Draft with all the new prospects coming through. Award show next week as well. And yeah, I think that about covers it for today. Anyone else got anything else to say?
Yeah, go Cats.
Also,
Ooh.
whoever made these new graphics for the draft, excellent graphics. These were
Yes.
Yep, great job.
really
Unless it
enjoyed
was
the new
Infinite.
presentation.
Yeah, I love this
Yeah.
presentation. It was awesome.
Yeah, this was terrific.
Okay. Take care, everyone, and Stacey stinks.
Bye. No, I don't. Maybe.
He's not smelly.